Hello, welcome back to Salty Sunshine. I'm your host, Lisa. Are you happy? Go Knicks. The Knicks won first championship in 53 years. I love seeing all the clips. It wasn't such a far game. It was pretty close, 94 to 90. So that was a close one. Good for them. I Not good for them is the degenerates that call themselves fans destroying the streets of New York for no freaking reason and setting cars on fire. And I didn't know if, a basketball game on or there was a riot. I mean, what is this behavior? It's so embarrassing of humanity. I swear. Arson, lighting things on fire, it should be a federal crime. They should have heavy, heavy penalties because that's not funny. That's bullshit. That you're letting these morons come out here and do shit like that. I hope they arrested those people and caught them and put their ass in jail. And I can't believe we allow people to do this in our streets. It's crazy. So they won. All the celebrities were there. You couldn't pay me to go to a game like that. I'd rather die. There's no way. Those crowds, those ridiculous drunk people, absolutely not. But JLo was caught on a subway, this Instagram show or whatever. She said, if you're not born in New York, you can't claim New York. You can't claim you're a New Yorker. That is such bullshit. First of all, her mom, I'm sure, feels she's a New Yorker, and her mom was not born in New York. So how about that, JLo? That doesn't make sense. If you've lived in New York for most of your life, for 20 years, 25 years, you're going to tell me you're not a New Yorker? I mean, get out of here. It's ridiculous. So I guess JLo's not a Puerto Rican. She calls herself Puerto Rican. She's not Puerto Rican. Speaking of JLo, I saw her Netflix movie, Office Romance. There was a time that JLo had really good rom-coms, Made in Manhattan, Enough. What was the other one? So many. There's a lot. Mother of the Bride. She had really good stuff. Office Romance wasn't the worst movie of all time. It's just a Lifetime movie. So it's fine. It's not, I wouldn't tell you, oh my God, you gotta go see this. Nope. I would give it a 3.3 out of 5. It wasn't terrible, but there was nothing to it. The plot's like a nothing burger. You already know what's happening. Super predictable. It wasn't anything. I could have done without it. I don't know why she keeps making these mediocre movies. I don't know. I don't know what's the problem, but it was fine. It wasn't as bad as other ones, but it was very nothing burger. It wasn't exciting. The plot it was predictable. It was silly. I've heard that she's dating that guy in real life, which of course, because JLo can't quit JLo. Okay, she is a forever dater. She will date whoever's around her, it seems. Her backup dancers, her friends, her coworkers. I mean, I guess that's how she has to meet people, because otherwise, where is she meeting people? I watched Cape Fear on Apple TV. I only watched 1.5 episodes. If you guys remember the original Cape Fear movie back in the day with Robert De Niro, it was so good. This is a remake of it, but it's not retelling the same story. It is, so Cape Fear, the original, there was this guy that went to jail for raping somebody, but I guess he thinks, or he says he didn't do it. And the lawyer that put him in jail, when this guy gets out of jail, he terrorizes the lawyer's family. And it becomes this whole thing and a thriller. So this is kind of the same thing. They put this guy in jail. I forgot if it was for murder or what it was. I think it was murder. So it's just a different lawyer, different family, different guy. Javier Bardem plays the guy that comes out of jail and starts terrorizing this family. It's kind of creepy from what I've seen. So if you're interested in that, that's on Apple. And then I saw the craziest documentary, Motherly Instinct on Netflix. Jeez Louise. I wasn't prepared. I thought it was going to be... It's a disturbing true crime documentary that details a horrific 2020 case of Taylor Parker, an East Texas woman who faked a pregnancy and ultimately murdered her pregnant friend in order to steal her unborn child. Now, if you've seen this, what What was she thinking? She thought she was going to get away with this? What was the plan? There was no plan. It just seems like she woke up one day and decided to do stupid shit that was never going to work. She has 2 kids. Now, what I wasn't sure of, that they didn't mention it, she had 2 kids already when she met this guy and moved in with him. And she's like a pathological liar. She lies about everything. She makes up these stories. She told this family of the guy that she liked that, first of all, she moved in with him right away. And probably so she wouldn't have to pay rent or something. But she told him, which was a red flag on his part. Why was he doing that? And then she has 2 kids, but she didn't see the kids all that much. Were the kids with the dad? I don't remember what they said happened with the dad. If the dad was in the picture or not, and what the dad thought about her, because that's interesting that we don't know where the dad stands in all this, if she's so pathological. But apparently she was a pretty young girl. She loved attention. She had these 2 kids. I don't even know if it's the same father from the 2 kids. I'm not sure. Then she meets this guy, and she meets a boyfriend, and she moves in with him right away. And then she tells the family that her family is super well off, but she does not get along with her mom. She's estranged from her mom. Nobody contacts her mom because her mom is not wanting to give her all this inheritance that's due to her. And these morons believed it. I mean, I'm sorry. There's so much wrong with this story on both sides. That's a red flag in itself. And then, so they go and start buying stuff. They buy the guy's mom a car. She buys her a car because the mom needed a new car. I don't know how she bought it though. She didn't have money. And then they repossessed a car early on in their relationship. So how was that not a red flag to get away from this woman? Because she kept saying that the money was going to take longer. The mom is intervening. Now the money is not. She thought the money was coming. Now it's not coming. It's weird. Who goes to buy stuff without having the money in hand? You're not going to buy stuff before you get the money that you're expecting. And they bought big stuff. Apparently they were buying all this stuff, looking at land to purchase. What was her plan at the end of the day? So the film explores extreme pathological lengths and deceptions Parker utilized to convince her boyfriend and community that she was expecting a baby. The story slowly unravels after Parker's pulled over by a state trooper, and authorities quickly realize that the newborn and the blood she is covered in does not belong to her. So the documentary starts off that this cop stops this woman that is driving erratically, and she's screaming at them that she needs to get to the hospital, that she just gave birth 5 minutes ago, and then umbilical cord's still on the baby, but the baby's not breathing. And the whole time she went to a girlfriend's house, and I didn't even think it was a close girlfriend, just someone she knew that was pregnant, and killed or sliced open her stomach and took the baby. So again, what was her plan? To show up at the hospital with the baby, or was she not even going to the hospital? And she did plan for the boyfriend to be, she faked him having to deliver hogs to somebody that ordered them, but they didn't, but it was very far away. So she got rid of the boyfriend while she did this, and maybe she was going to pretend she gave birth at home, but because the police stopped her, it ruined her plan. But she thought the baby was going to survive, and she just killed someone. It was so crazy. So she was sentenced to death. She's sentenced to death. So she's the youngest woman in Texas, and she's the 4th woman, I believe, to be on death row. So she's serving time. Obviously, she's trying to appeal her case, which is crazy. I mean, who would appeal? It's super black and white. There's so much evidence against her. And I don't know, I mean, this is probably one of the craziest stories. I don't remember seeing this on the news, though. I really don't. Taylor Parker's baby daddy and primary boyfriend is Wade Griffin. Parker deceived Griffin into believing who's the father of her actual kids? So another thing is, she faked this pregnancy, but her people that she used to hang out with know that she had a hysterectomy in the past. So it's impossible for her to be pregnant, but they can't go tell him because of the HIPAA laws, I guess, but they eventually did. And again, the mom completely got onto her and told her son to get rid of this woman, that she's crazy, and he wouldn't believe her. So what is wrong with this man? So he believed so much that she was going to get money. Maybe that's why he didn't want to sever ties with her because he thought he was going to be a millionaire by staying with her. That's what it seems like to me, because how can you be that dumb? She was fake pregnant. He said that he couldn't touch her and she would spend hours in the bathroom and he couldn't touch her throughout her whole pregnancy because she has no belly. So it's the craziest, unbelievable story, because that guy's like dumb as rocks, or he's just wanting to be a millionaire and holding on for the money. And he didn't want to see the truth. Let me see. Parker already had 2 children from previous relationships before meeting Griffin. Her daughter Emerson was with former boyfriend Donald Whiteside, and her son Trey was with her ex-husband Tommy Wakasi. So she had 2 kids with 2 different people at this young age. And what happened with those men? That's what I want to know. Parker gave up custody of her son during her divorce. Okay, she gave up custody means that's crazy, because she could have got child support. So she must have done something terrible. Following Parker's capital murder conviction, her daughter was placed in the custody of Parker's mother. Okay, I need to know more about these 2 ex-relationships, because that's key information. They don't talk about it at all in the documentary, which I find interesting. So, again, another red flag. The guy didn't realize she gave up custody of her son and they would only see her daughter sometimes. So bizarre. Craziest documentary on Netflix. I just have questions. Ariana Grande's on tour. Ariana Grande she also reportedly broke up with that guy she was with. I forgot his name, but he was married with a newborn when they got together on the set of Wicked. Ariana got so much slack for that. She has a history of going for taken men, and then she gets bored of them and they break up. She did have one, well, at that point it was her ex-boyfriend that committed suicide, Mac Miller, and then Pete Davidson was rumored to have been with someone, but she was also married and apparently he was in something. So she just has a little bit of a reputation. But the big headlines today is during her tour, she's obviously very, very thin. She used to be regular young people thin. Then she grew up a little and was still regular thin, but maybe a little less thin. And then since before Wicked, I guess she got really thin. And everyone's saying she has an eating disorder. I don't know why everyone's drumming this up as new shocking news. Yes, you can see her chest bones in the photos and the videos of her tour. But if she was obese, it would be the same thing. Obese people also are unhealthy and at risk of, bad health. She is obviously not eating, probably eats a baked potato once a day or something, because she's very thin. How she's on those platform stiletto heels, boots, the whole time on stage is crazy to me. Not because she's thin, just because those shoes look like she can easily twist her ankle and fall over. But because she is so thin, they're saying the choreography, there's a lot of her sitting down because she can't handle it now. I don't know if that's true, but you know what? That's her business. She wants to be anorexic. Her heart might fail, and they're comparing her to some old actress that had that issue. But who knows? Who knows what it is? It's just the same as she was obese. I mean, she's been like this for years, so I don't know what people think they're doing by just blowing that up all over online. It's not really anything we could do about it. It's just like if you get 10,000 breast surgeries and your breasts are about to pop, that's also dangerous. It's just a lot of things are dangerous. This is how she's choosing to live her life. I'm sure she hears this all day from a lot of people, including her family. So I'm sure she's aware. And I don't think everyone needs to harp on it so much. But she's on tour. She broke up with her boyfriend. Everyone's wondering how his ex-wife feels. It was his high school sweetheart. They got married and had a baby, and then that happens, which is pretty crazy because I think Ariana was around his wife and him when they first met and they were doing the movie. I think she even held his baby, and for her to do that was pretty crazy. See, that's what bothers me more. I always say if you have relationships, I do think there's a difference between someone that cheated once and a cheater. I think there's a very big difference. I think if you're in a relationship and you're unhappy and you go have some drinks or you end up somewhere with someone that you end up liking and let's say you kiss because your relationship at home isn't great and you were already 1 foot out the door, but then you wake up and you're like, wait, that was messed up. You go home, you tell your partner, and you either try to fix it or you say, I think I'm done with this relationship. I want to separate. I don't think that's a cheater. I think that's someone that cheated, but it was a one-off. And I think that's very different than someone that is always having a lurking eye, a wandering eye, always looking for someone and is actually cheating all the time. I also think it's very different when you carry on an affair. I think it's different if you end up in a situation that you kiss someone or let's say you have sex with someone and you don't ever go back to your old relationship. You realize it's over and you end it. It's still wrong, but that's more to me less of a deplorable person than somebody that literally day in day out is lying to your face every day, putting you at risk, having sex with someone else. That's really diabolical to me. That's really disgusting. Someone that's just looking at you in the face, making plans to see someone and just kind of having this ongoing affair. To me that's really disgusting. I think someone that just ends up cheating but they never go back to their last relationship because they realize it's broken, that's different. But anyways, I think that was her biggest crime with this guy, that she had no shame. Um, but yeah, what do you think he's gonna do? Because now they're saying he has a stain on him in the acting world, which I don't know if that's true or not, but because of what he did with Ariana, they're not gonna treat him the same. He's not gonna get the jobs, and now he's divorced. Who knows? And he's not the best looking guy, so I don't know. Um, Tom Brady. He has a new coconut water brand. Tom Brady thinks since the roast that he is a comedian, and he's probably hanging around a bunch of comedians now. Kevin Hart probably worked on his new slogan for this coconut water, which is good nut. He thinks that's probably very clever and hilarious. I think it's very third grader. I don't know. Good nut. And then the slogan is, it's a delicious mouthful. Everyone thinks this is genius. I think it's embarrassing. I'm sorry. This is not something a man his age needs to be branding his water with. I don't know. I get that it's, you know, a funny thing, but to me it sounds like a fraternity guy being like, yeah, good nut, you know? It's a mouthful. Oh, I don't know. I just he Tom Brady keeps giving me more of it. He gave me the first ick when he retired, quote unquote, and then decided not to retire. And then that blew up his marriage. Giselle left him and had a baby and got married with someone else. So he screwed that up. So that was the first ick. The second ick is him being seen with Alex Earl. Disgusting. I have this thing with men in their 40s and 50s going after women in their young 20s. It grosses me out. I think it's such a character flaw and you have no substance. So that was a second ick. And now this Good Nut brand is a third ick. I don't understand what's going on with him. But regardless, go try his water. Let me know if it's good. Right? Miranda from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. She's debuting her country music song. That's kind of exciting. I can't wait to hear it. It's going to be released on June 26th. Good for her. The single's called FU for that. It's spelled the letter F, the letter U, the number 4, that. So we'll see. I don't think there's a clip, but we'll see what it sounds like. I'm sure that's interesting for her. Thank God she's venturing out. I think these girls are over this show, except for Jessie. She's such a cloud chaser. I'm so over Jessie. I have no interest in watching Jessie on TV. She is the fakest, most performative. I can't. I just can't. She gives me. What was that guy from Love is Blind? The guy that was a bullshitter? car. She gives me car salesman. I can't do it. So good for Miranda Hope. June 26th, her new song comes out, so I'll be listening to that. She says the song will mark her first foray into the music industry, allowing her to share her story and process past betrayals in a brand new medium. She announced the project via Instagram, sharing a teaser of the song. Oh, she did share a teaser. That's nice. Okay, good for Miranda. I feel like I'm not going to be watching Secret Lives of Mormon Wives for any city. I think it's stupid at this point. No one's Mormon. No one is friends. It just doesn't make sense. But also, Tyra Banks is suing Netflix for that documentary that she was in. She's saying that they filmed hours of her talking and they literally clipped out 16 minutes and made her look really bad and negative. So that's, again, silly. I don't know. Why don't you just make your own video and correct the things that were wrong or elaborate instead of suing Netflix? I don't know. Sounds like a waste of money to me. I don't think you can sue stuff because you don't like how it came out. But what do I know? Oh my God, today I heard on the news that there was a girl, I think an American girl went to Brazil and did the bungee jumping. And they're saying that they didn't clip her on whatsoever and they just like threw her off. I haven't seen the video. I don't even want to see the video. That freaks me out. Why anybody in their right mind would go bungee jumping is beyond me. Skydiving, bungee jumping. Why are you doing that? I am not a thrill seeker. I like safety. I don't need that in my life. And there's so much that can go wrong. She just died. A young girl. It's very crazy. I only have one true crime. I guess I already talked about the Motherly and Sig true crime, but the other true crime going on right now, I don't know if you guys remember the girl from Miami that she went on a boat with a with a friend and her parents. I think it was a holiday weekend. This happened years ago, so it's crazy that it's just now on trial. So we're in the fifth day. 2 days ago, we were in the fifth day of trial. I think this is what happened. Hold on. I think the reason it took so long is because at first they just kind of deemed it an accident, and I think they were pushing to now prosecute him years later. I think that's what it is. So George Pino, he's a very prominent South Florida developer from Miami, and he was driving his boat, in 2022 when it crashed in near Boca Chica Key. So I think it was his daughter's birthday. He took out a bunch of her friends. His wife was there too. And funny enough, the girl that died, I went to school with her mom. So I'm watching her go through this on the court thing too, and it's devastating. I applaud her. Melissa Perez, she's the mom of the girl that died. And so the boat, basically, they were coming back from their day out. The boat was filled with Truly beverages, all, a bunch of alcohol. None of the girls were 21. They were still in high school. And I think they were just about to graduate, which was really sad. I do remember that after this happened, there was a graduation and they did kind of a memorial thing for Lucy, which is the girl that died. And another girl is permanently, I don't know, she's paralyzed. She's in a wheelchair. So one of the girls got really messed up and the other one died. And so they were coming back, and I guess the dad also had some to drink. He was speeding. I think it was going 46 miles an hour, which on a boat is very fast, I think. And it hit, I don't know what it hit. It hit something in the water and it capsized. And then I don't think they were wearing life vests, if I'm not mistaken. And I think, one of them died. I think she got caught under the propeller. I'm not sure exactly. But it was devastating. But this happened back in 2022. We're now in 2026, and this trial just started. So I think they've been trying to get this to trial. And maybe this father thought he was going to get away with calling it an accident. I'm sure this is not easy for him because regardless of the irresponsibility, this has to be devastating to some. I think it's punishment enough that he has to live with the fact that he killed his friend's kid, one of his daughter's friends. I think that's awful for both him and the wife. The wife was on trial on the stand, and they asked her if she had drank, and she said, I had a little bit of Prosecco with orange juice. They said, how many? She said, 1 or 2. We all know that means 5 or 7, right? There's no way she had 1 or 2. And yeah, I personally, I would never let my daughter go out during a holiday weekend on a boat with other people. Absolutely not. She hated me for it growing up. She would always ask me. I said, no, you can hate me all you want. There's no way. First of all, there's drunk people out there. Second of all, if they come back at night, you can't see anything. It's just so much can go wrong. And so the trial started, and he's crying his eyes out in the courtroom while people are on the stand and stuff. So he's facing second-degree manslaughter, and he left one teen permanently injured. So that's crazy, but that's a big case going on right now. And yeah, I think he's probably in shock, because at first I was wondering what was going to happen, and I thought they just ruled it an accident, but I guess not. I guess the parents really pushed for a trial. I guess it would be involuntary manslaughter, because he obviously didn't mean to do that. So I wonder why it's not involuntary instead of just manslaughter. Because he didn't mean to do it, which means it was involuntary, right? I don't know. That's going on. It's really sad. I remember exactly the day this happened. It was devastating, and I really applaud her parents, because they, most parents would get divorced. They do have a son, Lucy's brother, and most parents would get divorced and kind of lose themselves. And I think they've made the best they can do, and they have foundations in her name, and they've turned it as positive as they can, and they've stayed together. And I think that's really nice and special. So I think it's really sad. Love Island. Oh my gosh. Love Island. What are we doing? I can't wait to see it later. It comes on tonight. So what are we talking about? After Sun, Sierra and Teffy. Sierra, okay, she did a good job. Kudos to you, Sierra. I was nervous, because a lot of these reality stars, they try to put them in a lane they're not seasoned in, and it's really embarrassing. I think Sierra did a really good job. Her co-host Teffy, I'm not into it. I'm not into Teffy. She was F-bombing everything. She was over talking, and I don't know. I think the flow could have been better, but I liked it. I don't love Teffy there, but I think it was good. Yeah. So Sierra and Teffy on the last episode, I think it was Friday, they did a challenge. And of course, I hate when they give this low-hanging fruit, just like they did. Oh, just like Sierra did at the red carpet when she asked a question to Sydney Sweeney. She's like, what would you do if your boyfriend dated your ex? It's just not a good look for Sierra. This is my personal opinion. I'm sure a lot of people disagree, but I just think she needs to stop harping on this situation. I wish it would be more of a dig. What if, I don't know, more about a friendship, less about the ex, because her ex is so far removed from so long ago. Wes, it just seems so delusional to me. Stop talking about West, because it's irrelevant. I don't know. But at the challenge on Love Island, one of the questions was, what would you do if you're whatever? Who's most likely to sleep with your ex or whatever? And of course they gave her that question. And I wish she would have refused that question, because I feel, again, it's not a great look. You should just act like Wes doesn't exist. I don't know. It's time to turn the page as far as Wes. I think she can harp on what Amanda did to her, because I think that was more of the betrayal, because Wes was irrelevant in her life, in my opinion, as far as a love interest. But I did enjoy the after show with her. And yeah, that challenge they did on Friday, when Soul, the bombshell, she flipped out with what's his name, Nick? He came out and pied her twice or whatever for the second time, and she kind of threw a hissy fit and started crying. That wasn't a good look for her. I don't know. There's something about Soul. I know everyone loves her. Everyone thinks she's gorgeous and this and that and fine, but I don't like that look of her throwing a hissy fit. You are on a show, and this is part of the show, and it really wasn't that deep. And I don't know why she was crying. I don't know if she was putting it on for TV, but if that's real, she's a crybaby. I don't know. I didn't get it. I thought that was weird. It's a game. So that happened, and then obviously at the end, Bea they kicked her off. They didn't even kick her off on purpose. They kicked her off because everyone voted to put Gabriel, as she calls him. She can't call him Gabriel. She's like, Gabriel. They wanted to put Gabriel with the other bombshell, Sam or whatever. And because of that, Bea was vulnerable and kicked off. But obviously, if you take Gabrielle away from Bea, she's gonna go home because at this point they are eliminating someone, and she's not coupled up. So that only makes sense. And then they put Soul with Sincere, which is the worst name for this dude because he's nothing sincere. He's everything but sincere. This guy's like the biggest liar. I've been saying this for weeks. He's pissing me off. I don't like how he's moving. He says one thing and does another, and just because he has a calm demeanor and he's stupid deer face, deer eyes, everyone's giving him a pass, and I want to scream. I just want to scream. I want to take back the fact that I said Melanie was a Huda 2.0 or giving Huda vibes. She's not at all. She's just a highly emotional, probably immature person, but she got her wits about her, and she came back, and she calmed down, and whatever. She's nothing like Huda, is what I'm trying to say. She made a little bit of a scene, but she at least is rational and stops and thinks about stuff and reflects and says sorry or whatever. Bea has a hard-on for Melanie, and I think it's because when Bea tried to school her like she was her mom or her preschool teacher, nobody agreed with her, and she didn't win that, and Bea to me sounds like a control freak. I think Bea has a hard time not being in control, and she thought she had the right to tell people how to act and what to do, and she doesn't. So I think that's why she doesn't like Melanie, just because it didn't go off the way she thought it would. And now, even on the After Sun, she was saying that, she obviously doesn't like Melanie, and she's trying to hype up Soul and Sincere, and that was weird. And even when they put Soul up there and Sam, the two bombshells, and they were trying to say, okay, America voted, this is who they want you with, the whole time he's whispering in Melanie's ear saying, don't worry, we're going to stay together, we're going to figure this out, we'll come out the other side. Like, he's trying to reassure her that they're going to be okay, no matter who he's coupled up with. And the minute Soul gets down and Melanie goes up, they ask him how he feels, and he says he's excited to explore the connection. I think I would have hopped over the fireplace and beat the shit out of him. I mean, he literally was whispering in her ear, we're going to make it through. So his answer should have been, I'm not happy that I'm not coupled up with Melanie anymore. That's what he should have said. But I am, but I'll do my best. He should have said something to that effect after whispering in her ear that they're going to make it through. I mean, I don't know how Melanie didn't lose her shit. See, that was a time to lose your shit. It'd be like, you were just whispering in my ear that we're going to make it through. It's on camera, buddy. So she basically said, I'm happy to let go of this and move on, which I thought was shocking. I don't know if she means it, but now she's coupled up with Corbin, Mr. Period after every 2 words. Melanie, I'm glad we are together and we can figure out our connection. He talks like a robot. He talks really funny. That guy gives me the creeps. I don't know. There's something about him. I know he's only 22, and that's probably part of it. He's a very probably, green 22-year-old, but with the voice that doesn't match. I don't know. His voice sounds like he's going through puberty. It's so funny. So we'll see what happens with Beatrice and Corbin, not Beatrice, Melanie and Corbin. But also, just because you're coupled up with someone new doesn't mean you don't have to make out in bed. You don't have to, whatever. They were saying that they think Kenzie and Corbin were having sex in the bed because it looked like that in the video. People that are going on there and having sex or fooling around foreplay on TV in a room filled with 20 other people, you need to get your head checked. Even Miguel from season 6, Leah Miguel, he's like, I would never have sex on there. What, are you crazy? I'm not doing that shit. Thank you, Miguel. Who in their right mind? Keep it in your pants. Just keep it in your pants. It's so disgusting and inappropriate, and I find that appalling. Get a life. Don't have sex on camera. You loser. With a stranger. This is insane. Wait till you go to a private room. Wait till after the show. I don't know. What are you doing? That is not the time and place. It's so embarrassing. So I don't know if even Kenzie telling Corbin, I love 69. First of all, who loves 69? Nobody. Nobody loves 69. It doesn't make sense, especially depending on your height. Nothing fits correctly. It's awkward and weird. Nobody likes 69. So her saying that is a lie, and she's probably never done it. Or maybe she was too drunk and she thought it was fun. I don't know. Kenzie's funny. I like Kenzie. Everybody's making fun of her facial expressions, but I saw someone say, which I completely agree with, that people are so used to watching people with so much Botox filler filling your lips, these robot faces, that her face that has motion and range is freaking them out. But guess what? That's a you problem, because her face is regular and normal as it should be. And we're supposed to be able to make facials. We're supposed to be able to have regular stuff. Her lips are not blown up, so maybe when she like smiles and opens her mouth, you see more of her teeth. I don't know. She doesn't have veneers. She's a natural looking girl. I like her and I like her look. I don't like the way she talks though. It's raunchy. But as far as her facials, I think people are blowing it out of proportion. Yeah, she could look crazy sometimes, but who wouldn't when they're capturing, you're animated and they're taking all these videos and photos and stills of you? Come on, I would look crazy too. But apparently Sincere's mom went on live, and Sincere's mom, oh, this is so funny. She's rooting for Melanie, and she's like, her and Sincere need to make it because she reminds me so much of me. Like, she's saying that Sincere's mom is saying that she herself is a fellow psycho, and Melanie has that, and she can relate. And she obviously likes Melanie and understands why she's freaking out because her son's being a two-faced liar. And so I thought that was funny. So maybe Melanie and Sincere get back. We'll see. But after she sees this on, what is that, movie night, shit's gonna hit the fan because he's a freaking liar. And now, yeah, I don't know if they can make it back because now she's gonna see them in the bed and kissing and whatever, and that's not cool because he could be coupled up with Soul and not do any of that, but obviously he can't be trusted because he does it. And then, speaking of Melanie, she has before photos of her. She used to be a plus size model. I would say she was a good 50 pounds heavier than she is now. Her family, I think, came out and said that she lost the weight naturally over time. That's why she doesn't have loose skin and all of that, which good for her. But she looks like a totally different person as far as her face when she was bigger. And it's so interesting how weight literally changes who you look like. Literally, I would have thought that was a cousin or something and not Melanie. But she looks great now. And it's interesting because if any of the girls, which I don't think any of them need it because they're so young and you could tell they're naturally the way they are now, and when they get 35, then it's a different thing and their bodies will go to shit. Okay. Your whole body goes to shit starting at age 35 or 40. And so you have to work a lot harder and everything. But if, let's say, any of the girls are on Ozempic, I feel like they couldn't be over there because then they would have to take the shot every week. And that would probably depending on how it affects you, because it affects everyone differently. You know, what if they're nauseous? What if they have diarrhea? What if they're constipated? I feel it would mess up the show for them on like the day you take it, which is once a week, and then 2 or 3 days after that. I don't know. Which is half the time of every week. So I wonder if they have a clause for that. If you're going to come on this show, you can't be taking any of that. That's interesting because it also has to be refrigerated and shipped over there. I don't know. Like I don't think anyone could be on it because of that. It would be weird. I want to see Love Island for people 35 and older. That would be fun. The bedtimes would be earlier. The bedtimes would be earlier. They'd wake up earlier. The conversations would be different. Hopefully, they know better at that age not to be bumping and grinding and less kissing gross. I would love to see a Love Island USA 35 and up. Let's do it. I think it would be so good because this young energy, immature, tongue swapping bullshit, it's getting old. I have to fast forward so many of the scenes. All the challenges, I fast forward. I don't want to watch it. It's so boring. And the way they're eliminating people too, if they have real connections, it's annoying. I mean, it is Love Island. So they don't have to physically recouple people for people to get to know each other. They're still pulling people for chats. They're still having conversation. Why can't you let people be with who they want to be with? I don't know. But anyways, I would love to see Love Island USA 35 plus. That would be such a good show. Because it would be more mature. It would be more like UK. Apparently UK is amazing. I remember I don't know if I saw UK like years ago, like just one season, and then I saw an Australian episode. I don't know if they do that anymore, but the Australian episode, I was so hooked. They don't do any of this bullshit. There was none of this wackadoodle behavior. It was so good. I was so invested, I could die. I was going down a rabbit hole of all the people, all the couples I thought were so great. It was so good. I loved it. I'm gonna go see if there's like more Australian ones because that was good. But yeah, what else happened on Love Island? Oh, they're saying okay. If you notice, Peacock implemented new rules this season, which they didn't implement the rules we needed. But if you notice, season 6, and I don't know about 7, but heavily on season 6, they had influencer type people, you know, Ace, and some people knew each other, and these people had a large following already and were influencer type people. They don't have that this year, which I'm so on board for. I hate people that are like after this, whatever shows they go on, I'm not watching because it's already gone through their head and it's a different vibe. I like green people to go and experiment and do the show from a honest place. And I think when you're an influencer, you're not coming from an honest place. And I like that. And also, they used to let you would leave your phone with a trusted friend or family member and they would run your social media while you're gone. They don't do that now. If you notice, all their social media is backdated and there's no new posts because they're not allowing that anymore. So that's cool too, because that way there's not a lot of chaos and outside drama and comments and ugly comments and this and this and that. So I like that. I like that too, but they should have also implemented better structure on the show. Thank you. That's what I think. The cowboy that they put on there, I know Kenzie was looking for a cowboy. I don't know if he's it for her. I think the idea of him she liked, but I don't think she has any chemistry with him from what it seems. I can't believe how much she likes Corbin though, because that's wild. Corbin, I mean, the way he talks is crazy. And and Corbin even admitted that he was asking girls for kisses and doing all that because he was butthurt because she kissed the other guy. And okay, immature. He's 22. He's wearing his ego on his sleeve and his insecurity. So we're not going to get much out of Corbin. I don't see him ever having a good connection with anyone. Gabrielle, I don't know. Do you think he really liked Bea? I think he liked her as a friend. And I think he could kiss a pole. I think he'll kiss anything. I think if he looks like he's having a passionate kiss, that doesn't mean he likes you. I think he's just used to doing it, from what it seems. And he likes older women, it sounds like, too. I think he wants a sugar mama. I think Gabrielle is a no. I don't know. So we'll see if there's new bombshells tonight. We'll recap more next week. And that's all I have for you. I'll talk to you next time. Be your best selves. Bye.